to the Grounds for Discussion podcast. I'm coming to you from Streetside Studio 7, located inside Deja Blue House of Coffee, Alexandria, Minnesota. My guest today is Zander, a young artist who is here in Alexandria, Minnesota, and we're going to go over how we met and the different mediums that he executes his vision, his vibe, his art. He's a very talented young man, and I'd like to welcome Zander to the show. Hi, Zander.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here. I've been almost 2.5 year regular here at Deja Blue. Love it here in Alexandria.
Has it been that long?
Just about, I think. I know, right?
Gosh.
The years, they fly by.
I may as well adopt you too.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yes. Hello. I'm so thank you.
Oh my gosh.
For being here.
Yes, it's wonderful. So Zander and I met I don't know, it feels like you've just always been here. However, how we got to talking and interacting was he would come in, order his drink or his food or a combo thereof, and he would head upstairs into our loft and he'd pull out these sketchbooks.
Yes, my many.
Yes, he's
many
got many.
sketchbooks. Yes.
And when I drop off his drink, not in this, but I'd set his drink down, and I would sneak a peek at what he was doing. It was very intriguing. I just couldn't believe that that's what his mind's eye saw, what he was putting down on paper. It blew my mind.
Thank you so much, by the way. It's so kind to hear someone talk about my art.
It's crazy.
Right.
Like, can we, so you've got some old books here. So how many books do you have here?
I brought with me 5 in total. This is my current one, and we will be showing this one very, very soon when we get to my latest art. But these are some of my 4 earliest books that I had ever even started sketching in at all. This is my very first one. You can tell it's a sketchbook because it says sketch on it.
So how old were you when you started sketching?
I think I was about 12 years old.
Just a baby.
It's a tiny little.
Although I still call you a baby because how old are you?
21.
21.
I freshly turned 21 a few months ago.
Right.
Mirror that. 21 backwards 12.
Right. Oh my gosh. And what is the word I'm looking for? So
serendipitous.
That you are here at 21.
I know, right?
Flip it. You started sketching at
12. Age 12.
I
the
love
little
it.
Guy with a little pencil that he very much so held incorrectly.
So did you sketch to escape? Did you sketch because you had this in your mind's eye? Like, do you see something in your mind's eye? Like how?
Oh, you
do
got
tell.
Me, you got me right
Yes.
on this day,
Yes.
Miss Patty.
Yes.
So the process that I would start drawing always starts, and I can think of it as young as age 12, the very same thing I did every time. I put on headphones and I play music.
Okay, I have to say, I'm flipping the cameras here because it's so exciting that I've got a little screenshot into little 12-year-old Zander. He still does the same thing, you guys. He puts his headphones on.
Yeah.
And he's down in his sketchbook.
Always. It would be the exact same thing. I had very old corded headphones. The first one that not to put my father on any of this, but he broke my first pair of headphones by accidentally sitting on them. I have forgiven you, Dad. But
That's so sweet.
I know. I got them as a combo of a little neon shirt. Then I'm like, Mom, I need to have this. It's neon green. And she's
cute.
like,
okay,
boy,
Zander.
whatever. Yeah, she's
yeah.
okay then. So she got me this little pair of headphones, and I remember that this very sketchbook, I had a thing of Crayola colored pencils and a little graphite pencil, and I'd stick those things on, and I'd be listening on YouTube to Five Nights at Freddy's music and and dubstep probably, because that's what it was. Music for me, another form of artistic media that I'll get into, is the ultimate kickstart for the imagination. Because the biggest thing that I get into the rhythm of drawing with is that you have to just a little bit play pretend while you're drawing. You need to convince yourself that what you're doing and making this little squiggle on this page in this little area, or when you start to imagine things, and that mind's eye thing that comes through even heavily, music is what kickstarts it. And arguably, I don't need it to fuel me anymore, because there are a few times where I'll just take them off and it's like I just gotta like get the music in my brain onto here. Because before it was like I was a kid, I just needed something to zone me in and really kickstart that. And that the music worked just fine. Me and my headphones, and I'd start going. But that mind's eye thing, where I would really start to just sit, see an image, and what I even used to do, what I do nowadays actually, this developed middle of high school, I think. I would just close my eyes and I would just think and just hear the music, not even in my headphones, but the music that I hear
Oh.
in my head, because I'm a composer as well. I make music, so there's always a little song in here somewhere. There's always a little melody, and I would just listen to that, and I would see in my own mind's eye like these spirally images, these really funky
Based on
things.
the music, like it would kind of.
I think the music does influence sometimes. I think sometimes they're separate. You know, I could be listening to anything, but if a image comes to me, it does not matter what that music is. That image is what it needs to be, and it needs to be made. Other times, when I'm a little lacking in inspiration, because as any artists out there, y'all would know this, we lack inspiration. We get the art rut. We're like, I just can't think of something. Sometimes that music, it just gets you like, hey, don't think of it. Just listen to the music and just start. Then you get into that rhythm and you're like, I get it now. And you would just start going. So many different ways to get into doing it. But once I'm in it, I'm in it. You're right. I'm face down in that.
Yes.
I'm this close away from it sometimes.
So I'll bring a drink up to you as an example. Do I mess up that rhythm? Or are you able to? Because you do acknowledge me.
Oh, yeah.
You're very kind, and sometimes I'll be talking to you and oops, he's got his headphones on.
Oh, yeah.
You're able to jump back in?
Yep. Oh, very easily. When it's, and this of course stems from ye olde ADHD, diagnosed as a young and little boy. Neither of my parents have it. We don't know how I have it. When I asked the doctor when I got re-diagnosed during college, he said, you just got lucky. I'm like, sick. Love that.
Yeah, right. Thank you so much.
I know, right? But really, it is the music, the headphones suppressing, my surroundings, dial in. It would like get me to hyper focus. It's like, okay, we're here, we're doing this, and sure, we can veer off the path a little bit, but
you gotta come right back.
Oh, it's always like, if I had to stand up, go to the bathroom, sometimes I just got to stand up, like walk around. I do that quite a lot actually. When I get really into it, my hand gets sore, so you just got to get up, take a breather. But ultimately, there's that little path in the back of my mind. It's like, okay, you're done. Well, now we need you. It's like it's not done until it's done.
Sure.
And half the time I can't even tell when a piece is done.
So do you sketch daily? A couple of times a week?
At this point, yeah.
Since the age of 12?
Oh, wow. From way back then, yeah. I would have to say there were a few times where you take breaks. I know, like, when I finish the sketchbook, sometimes when I finish the sketchbook, I don't feel like going on. It's like, we just gotta, we'll take a breather for now. We'll focus on other things. But every now and then we would take a break. But I think on a daily level, little doodles every now and then, I think it has been almost every day. Since age 12 to 21. That's what, 7-ish? Nope, 9-ish years.
Oh my gosh.
9 years every day I draw.
So I'm gonna tap into this. We're gonna circle back to your sketch, but you just adjusted your hat.
Yes, always.
Let's talk about the many arenas that you step into, and I am learning as I'm getting to know you a little more closely that you step into these arenas and you actually master them. I don't know like how you quickly are able to do this, but you do. So your hat. Very cute.
I made this myself. Thank you.
You made it.
I did. Oh, hairline reveal.
That's all right.
I like my hair. That's the other thing. Y'all, you cannot clock my hair. Look at me. I'm gorgeous.
You're so cute.
I think to touch on the mastery just a little bit, that's where that comes from. You have to be a bit of a diva about things.
Sure.
You can't let people say that don't look good.
Right.
It does look good because I said it looked good.
Right.
So my hat.
Yes, you made it. So tell me about that process. How did you make a hat?
This was about, oh gosh, when did I do this? 11th grade. When I really started to get beyond the scope of small haircuts and American Eagle.
When did you grow your hair out?
I started growing it senior year. The last few, and I have not had a solid full trim since then, which has been about 3 20-ish years at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, I keep it very healthy. All my girls, Vivian, I know they're going to be watching this.
Oh,
when I,
cute.
when I tell them about it. Hi, Vivian. They do my hair, Bib. They do an amazing job.
Yeah.
They're giving me all the little tips on my girls as well. Miss Maddie, my drag mom. Love, love, love. They give me all the tips. But when it comes to this, my real life auntie, Aunt Erin, who you better be watching this too.
She is.
Yeah.
She will. I know she will.
Oh, yes.
The stories you tell me about your family and
Yeah.
the aunt and uncle in Minneapolis, it sounds like they really love you.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's so
they're my
good.
biggest supporters.
Yeah.
And I I love it. I love all of that stuff. So my aunt Erin gave me my first sewing machine ever. It was given me as a Christmas gift. I started making a bunch of stuff with it, and she walked me through a lot of things. She would take these patterns and stuff, and I remember that the day after Christmas, she came over to my place, well, my mom's place, when I was on Christmas break during college, and she was like, we're gonna like sew around this, and just start like going on this pattern, and you're gonna learn like how to do these little like seams here and everything, and then construction. She and I are very similar, where if we don't know how to construct something, we'll like go down an avenue. We can figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll do our best, and if it messes up, hey, no, it didn't. We can fix it, and we will, and then we do. And it's like, oh, it looks good.
And now look.
And now look, it's a hat.
So you also you made these patches too?
I did. So
like that one right there?
Yep. These two are made by hand. This one is supposed to be a ace of clubs, and this one is an ace of spades, which ace of spades is the one and only playing card in a playing card deck that has artwork. And so I of course had to improve it and put it on here because I am the only one in my family who has artwork.
Oh, I love it. You are so fun.
I'm a diva. And I did make a few of these pins too. This one, you can see it's a little crusty now, but I made this in college with my friends and everything. And I made the first patch underneath this one. I can't really show you because it's but I wore this a lot in school, and the first patch that I made with an embroidering machine just simply was bitch.
Okay. Like that's super easy. An embroidery machine.
Yeah.
So who introduced you to that? Auntie Erin?
The patches was my thing, but
Okay.
sewing as a actual logistic thing, this is gonna go back. It's not in fact Aunt Erin. It's not even my mom. It is my grandma Debbie, who sweetest old little Polak you ever known.
Oh, I love it.
She is. If she can ever figure out how to use her phone, she'll be watching this. But
oh, come on, we gotta like get Grandma in on the show.
Come on, Aunt Debbie, Grandma Debbie. She's lovely. She taught me for I think age 8, maybe even younger, when I would stay at her house during summers, because my parents, they used to own a restaurant, and they'd be working all the time. They'd do remodels on it, and they would just say, like, my dad would call up, hey mom, can you watch Zander tonight? Can you watch Camden Zander? And we'd love it every time. We didn't know we were going over to grandma's because mom and dad were working 12 to 12s. We were like, sleep over at grandma's.
Fun.
She had a PlayStation 2. She had Lego Indiana Jones.
She taught you the embroidery.
I think it was just, I sat down and she was working on a little piece, and I'm like, Grandma, what you doing? I'm just sewing. I'm like, how do you do that? And she'd show me. I was like, oh, I want to do that. And there'd be a few times where she's like, no, Zander, I'm sewing right now. We can't. I'm gonna do it. Like as a little kid, like, no, I want to sew. And she did. She taught me how to sew by hand. The first lady to do it. She taught me a lot. She taught me how to fold my socks, how to fold laundry.
Oh, cute.
And how to thread a needle.
I love it. Good job, Grandma Debbie.
I named my first sewing machine after her, Deborah.
Did you really?
Yep, I did.
That's so iconic.
Me and Deborah,
so great.
we make a lot of gowns.
So there it is, folks. The hat that Zander made. Yeah.
Ain't it gorgeous? I pose a lot in it.
And the embroidery piece of it, the sewing, and then the sketching.
Oh, yes.
So let's take a peek at, if we can, the current sketchbook. Yeah, and let's pull up something that you want to kind of highlight, and we'll put it in front of your camera.
Here. So this is something really important actually to the art community. And this is something that I actually experienced for one of the first times with a new sketchbook. I never used to have new sketchbook anxiety. You just got to start a page. This is what's called a welcome page. Oh, okay. It says, welcome to me sketchbook. And it is just a way for, if you're like, my first page, I'm so nervous. Oh gosh, what if it sucks? Hey, just start scribbling. It don't matter. You will psych yourself out of starting an art piece before you even pick up the pencil. You just got to start. You got to throw it down there, and you just got to get going. So this isn't art piece. It's bad.
It's a welcome
It's,
page.
it
I
is.
love
It's a
it.
welcome piece. This is a little doodle. His name is Jav. I draw them whenever I get bored, and this is forced perspective. It's kind of my mastery.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I just got to start because this was one. I opened it. I was right up there in my same little spot in the balcony. I'm like, new sketchbook. Oh boy, what do I want to do? There's too much. Scribble. Okay, and then I just start.
All right, let's see.
the this
Yes,
this
the
will
ones
be.
that just blow me away.
I will show you one of my first full page spreads here if I can find it. Yes, we have.
Oh my gosh, yes.
One of the first ones that I did here at Deja Blue is a
Look at that.
piece.
I'm gonna bring it.
The closer one, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Look at
this right here, go for it. Yep. That is my current art style. I honestly don't know how to categorize it.
This is insane.
Yes, it is it's supposed to be fire,
And it
in which, yep.
So here's what it was. This.
Yep.
It was that.
That I start completely from a blank page.
Yes.
And my main media is markers and pens. I find I can get the most detail out of things without color. That's not to say that I cannot do color.
Oh no, we should show them one of those.
Oh yes. Well, I'll get that one up now while I keep talking about
Yes,
this
yes.
one. But one of the things that I try the most with my full page spreads, that's the quickest way that I can describe them to a full page spread. Because that's what I intend to do with them.
And this is a full page spread.
That it is.
Okay.
This art style that you see here, where it covers. Ooh, I got too much in my hand. But
Mm.
this full, like it goes edge to edge, edge to edge. Sometimes it even goes farther because you probably can't see it on camera. But where the rings and everything separate, there's a little line that you actually like can peel it off with. And I am not afraid to go over that line. I do not care if art gets lost over that line. I only care about making the art. So I have to do it. It's impulsive. So that was my little fire piece. There was nothing more that came to mind. And that's what I did at work. I actually saw this one at work where I'm just going at it. I'm bored, to be honest. You know, I work on a shop floor and it can get very just grayscale. Like no blah, no nothing to pull from. And so my mind will start doing things. We got to entertain ourselves. So it came to me this little fireplace image, right? Where I was like, fire, okay. What would I even do for the shadows? Would the flames be what have texture? Do the shadows have texture? What would texture shadow? And now I'm doing art.
And there it is.
And hey, 3 days later, poof.
That's
there we
crazy.
I try very hard. Yes. The little. Oh, I'll get into the nitty gritty of it, but this is your first introduction. That's what I do. I am not without multifacets though, because I especially love a colored piece, and that used to be my old art style was full page, full color. And I actually had an old rule back in high school was that I was not allowed to have any white remaining on the pictures. And so
Oh my gosh.
this sketchbook's really weird to demonstrate, but holy color.
Yeah, that's so vibrant.
Oh yes.
Look at that, you guys.
That is reminiscent of one of my earlier styles is full colorizing of a full page. And I did actually have this specific piece, look at me jumbling around. This one with the eye in the middle and this little fire coming off of it is a redesign of an old art piece that I did in high school, where that one's rule was I wanted the borders, the black of the border, because I always start with black and then I color it in with the color. And my old rule for that one was I wanted more black to start with than white. So I did very thick lines and it, you know.
So what I love
today.
about this piece, just looking at it and taking all the vibrancy in, for me, it stirs up memories of my childhood, if you can imagine.
Kidding. Oh, do tell.
Do you know of Lisa Frank?
Yes, I've heard.
So she was very much a, I don't know how to describe her, kind of for a child, like maybe 7th, 6th, 5th grade, but her colors were so vibrant like this. So when, as soon as you opened that up, my mind was like, oh,
right.
Reminds me of Lisa Frank.
Oh, yes.
And the other piece of this that, I can relate to is some of the elements to me remind me of Salvador Dali, the Spanish artist.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yep. He's so intense and he's so in your face.
Oh yes, very
that
vibrancy.
those were the two things almost immediately intertwined. I was like, oh, Lisa Frank. But wait, Salvador Dali. You have the clock, you have the big
Yep,
eyes, you
yep.
have the waves. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
I
Yes.
love it so
One of
much.
my favorite things to do with color too is to experiment. Do things
Mm-hmm.
that no one else is gonna want you to do or think is weird. Like the vibrancy of this whole piece. And you kind of take in this upper corner here. It's like, okay, that is nothing but earth tones. That's just
Right.
greens, some lime greens, maybe, some deep like browns, some oranges, and it doesn't match the vibe of like these vibrant purples or anything, or the like what's that called, ombre of like all
Mm-hmm.
the tiers down there. You're like, what the heck is going on up there? The whole point is to cause juxtaposition, so it pulls your eye in different ways, so you can keep looking at the same piece
Right.
over and
Right.
over, and it's like,
Right.
I just noticed that, or I just saw that. So
And
that's the beauty of
it is beautiful. And I have spent quite a bit of Xander's time I've taken
it.
looking at his sketch.
Mhm.
And oh my gosh, look at that.
Yeah.
Wait, look at that.
I've
Wait
been
a
told
minute. How
the
about this?
pre-images
Yes.
is very jarring because you really just see black lines with nothing filled in. Sometimes they're just squiggles. It's like, okay, I guess that's the route we're doing. And then you come back and it's that, and you're like, oh, there was something in between here.
To me, also, I find it. I find you fascinating. Actually, that to know Xander is he is the sweetest, kindest, most polite. I was telling my husband Sean, he's such a sweet boy, and he's 21 ish,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
I'm a youngin.
But to me, at 55, he's just a sweet, sweet young man, and he's so polite. And I was telling my husband today, he often calls me Miss Patty,
I do.
and it's so
Yep.
polite. So
Yep.
I lived in Alabama for a handful of years.
You did.
I
Oh my
did
gosh.
when I was your age.
Wow.
Actually, I moved to Alabama when I was 20,
Hmm.
and everybody, all the little kids, young individuals,
Mm-hmm.
everybody referred to someone older as Miss Patty,
Oh,
Miss Debbie,
Yeah,
whatever.
Miss Debbie.
Yep,
Miss.
it's
Yep.
always the Miss, and so you
Mm-hmm.
remind me a lot of the kids in the South that were just so incredibly polite. So to have this young man who's so kind, so sweet, so polite, do something like this is so intense to me. It is so intense.
I try. I
Yeah.
try very hard with
Yeah.
this one. This next piece that I will show us is one that I have intentionally kept hidden from you.
Oh, stop.
And
Stop.
we'll
Did
breeze
you
past
really?
this little one here. This is the latest one that I completed here in Deja Blue, which, by the way, I'll plug it at the end. You may see all of my art on Instagram, and I always make sure to plug Deja Blue with it.
Okay.
I do art day, and I'll post it on like another art day at Deja Blue House of Coffee. And this one is the latest one that I completed. You can tell I like my eyes. And this is another just redux one from one that I thought of at work to take these little perspective lines and just go out,
That's incredible. So, okay, I'm gonna show it a little closer.
Right.
Look at that.
Yes, this one had me finished, and I was like, this one might be one of my better ones because I always think that, and I call it, what do I call it? Not a magnum opus. Oh, a present piece. A shoot, the word completely blanks my mind, but
It'll come back.
it will. I'm sure it will.
So here's what I feel when I see this. I feel is there emotion behind this, Xander?
You have no idea.
Really?
And I will demonstrate to you the next one. This one took me emotion to do it. And I did this next one that I'll show is one that I did before this. And it's gonna be, this was the one that I hid from you that I haven't even posted yet to show. It is one of my old Angel OCs that I did.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Here you go. So a lot of you, this is very current. There's an art trend going around where there are little colors on the side of pictures and stuff, where it'll be like yellow is joy, red is anger, green is jealousy, stuff like that, right? And of course, I was like, oh, I have to do one of those. And I did a little one at work where all I had was highlighters. I did it, and I was like, okay. And I saw someone post this, right? Where I believe it was purple was supposed to be disgust. Where it's like you just didn't like that, and someone had handprints on them, on their like, and all it was is a black outline of
Mm-hmm.
like there's nothing in there, and they fill it in with the color.
Sure.
And someone had on there this like handprint that had disgust over it. I'm like, that is so cool because this is something that I really don't like, and I find it most of all with I think it's just like older people, older men, not including you at all. Not calling you old,
Oh,
but
okay, Xander. I forgive you.
who said
Right.
that? um, it's this vibe of I for so long had to get over the idea of touching. I didn't like when um people would always try to like grab my hand, like they'd what bothered me the most headphones when people would flick my headphones off my head to get my attention, or they would like tap me on the shoulder. And this, I'm not even gonna name names, but a coworker of mine, this one really got me. These two handprints. When a coworker was, I was just sitting there working, and I have my hair up while I work, and I have transparency with my work headphones because I have to hear my surroundings while I'm working. It's not safe to work on a shop floor with headphones, and they were just squawking about stuff, and I was working. Like I got to do my
Just
thing.
doing your thing.
Yep.
Focus.
I heard them talking about me too, and I'm like, I'm not gonna stop and entertain these slackers. And you know, I'm just trying to do my thing. And at one point, I hear him say, "Oh, if you really want to get his attention," and he reached down as if he was to grab my bun, my hair that was up, and the audacity, the way I never yell. I'm a very, you said polite.
Yes, yes.
My
kind,
parents, they got me
sweet.
right on that. I gotta be polite all the time. I never raise my voice. But that day, so they've been kind of shaky about it.
Yeah.
I just
Oh.
hate. I don't like touching when it comes to hair, older men, that stuff. And if I'm okay, you will know if I'm okay with touching because I won't bark at you about it. And
Well,
that day,
it just was very intrusive.
right?
You know, you're doing what you're doing, and you tune in that okay,
Yep.
that's great. They're
It-
talking about me. What are they saying? And you continue to do your work, and then all of a sudden, yeah,
That
no.
and it broke me because the barrier between the self and the mind is the skin. One touches that, and it re shatters your reality when you're like, and that's where it comes.
My
and
gosh.
and what they did afterwards when I was barking at them, like I will not repeat what I said
Okay.
because I got there. I got there with them, and I made sure they know because like I'm not, I'm a nice and cordial person. I would never be mean. But when you get there with me, you get there with me, and you best believe
You're gonna
you are
let
not
yes.
safe. And so what he
Oh.
did afterwards is he like had I don't know why he after I just ranted him about not touching me, he then palms my shoulder. He's like, "We're just messing with you. We're just." The way that I was even more like, I had to get up.
You're
I stood
already
up.
feeling. I don't even know. I'm thinking you felt imposed upon.
I did.
You know.
I totally did. And I think the best thing when I was just that day, I had to get up. And I was like, I have to just walk. I just walked it off. I got all my anger out, clocked out. And what I realized, especially when it comes to dealing with these emotions, and it's like, I'm an artist. I have the ultimate coping mechanism at my fingertips. Shaky hands do not make bad art, y'all. You got to remember that you can, in fact, work through your pain, whatever it is that you're going through, even if it's a minute little thing, an inconvenience at work, to something big, art can heal. And you do need to remember that. So
And so everything you were feeling
is right here.
is right
She
there.
is sitting right here. And so I will fully present it again.
It's beautiful, my
These hands
gosh.
and everything. I will admit I took that inspiration from that little TikTok that I had seen of people having disgust over the hands and the colors. I'm like, I know that feeling.
Oh,
And it just
Xander, I'm sorry.
rubbed it back up, and I'm right there. And after displaying it here like this and showing it, and this like outline and everything, I have done this person before. I've drawn this like fire hair with wings before. I love it. It embodies angels. I like my little spiritualism sprinkle in there because that's a beautiful thing too. And these like hands and everything that make the cracks, that make the imperfections, surrounded by this like vibrant of shadow and stuff. There's a lot of power and energy that goes into these things, and I always believe that like there is stuff that I put in there, and what I put into it gets reflected back to whoever sees it because energy's a mirror, right? Whatever I'm taking in, I'm putting right back out. Whatever I'm putting out there, someone else is taking in, doing the same thing back and forth. And so,
I think that's why one of the reasons, there's many reasons why I'm so intrigued with what you do, but one of them is that you do stir emotion in me. And I like to
Mhm.
think of myself, I think in episode, I don't remember the one I did with Angelica, we talk about, I've never, Auntie doesn't cry. I think
Oh
I've seen her
yes,
cry a
I
few
saw that.
times. I, I'm kind of old school. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
try to keep my
Stoic.
emotion. Yep.
Yep, that's my
But
dad.
these make me
Feel.
feel
Yep.
like I get emotion stirred up. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I find your art so intriguing,
Mm-hmm.
because there's not a lot that, like, no offense to anyone that likes comedians, I
Yep.
don't really find it
Funny.
entertaining or funny. Like, I don't get stirred up that way.
The tea.
But this, my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
this makes you feel.
It's supposed to. I think that is something that is to be said. Art has a fast track to the
Mm-hmm.
soul.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little thing out there that is smell. Smell is the first thing that it's the first sense, the quickest one to your brain. That when you smell something, you're like, you immediately know it and your brain can process it. Art, I think, is that for the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Art is that
Yes.
where you can, and at times I almost feel like that's what it is. That when I'm in that state and in that emotion, my like aura's going up, my spirit, my everything, my energy, and I'm putting that down onto paper. Like,
How
there's more
can
than
we
just
not get that back?
exactly.
Right?
There's more than just ink going onto that.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. Your
And
heart and
so,
soul and your feeling, everything.
it's a beautiful thing. I love it. Like it's, and you're right. At first, it kind of was a coping mechanism for a few things. One of the biggest things, I'm very loud and out about my pride, my
Mm-hmm.
sexuality, and my artisticness of it. One thing that I used to do when I was closeted back at home, I would create little pride flags and hide them in my artwork
Oh,
using colors.
Zander.
And no one knew. No one knew. I would fill in all the blanks with all these other colors, and they're like, well, it's in a rainbow pattern, but it's not a rainbow.
Sure.
But somewhere in there was a little cloud that had those little colors on it,
Mm-hmm.
that had those little things. And only those who saw my art, who got it, there was a few kids who they couldn't come out to anyone. They couldn't tell anyone. Because, like, small town Minnesota, it's the mentality thing. How do you, a small little child, you can't possibly find the ideas to what's even the word, explain sexuality or romantic attraction. So it's like, how do you even do that? Well, as an artist, I'm like, well, okay, I'm feeling this, I'm just gonna put it out there, and if it works for some people, it works for some people. And some people, they would see that art and they're like, not only do they realize, like, oh, you're a safe person to talk to, they see the art and that is their coping mechanism, where they just see that little part of themselves that they can't tell anyone else. They see it seen, they see it displayed, not only seen but displayed in a place that they now feel at home with. And that's something ooh, I
That's
still
very
try.
that's very powerful,
Mm-hmm.
Xander.
And not everyone's as lucky to
Mm-hmm.
be like me and to be as out and
Oh,
forefront
heck
with
no.
my stuff. I know plenty of people to this day who are still like silent about it. I'm like, I try to be that. I'm so thankful to do these things and to be able to do these things and so skilled at what I do because I'm so confident, because I'm so out. And I always think, imagine all the other me's that could be out there, all the other potential artists, the other innovators, creators, scientists, teachers, like all of those things who are just shelved and boxed because they don't feel strong enough to come out or they don't feel brave enough to have that space. If my art can even let just one of those people have the confidence to realize that that's okay and that they are valid, dude, I'm done. That's
Job
me, right?
well done.
Hands clean.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love all this, honestly. I think so. You have people commission you for work?
Sometimes
Because I want to commission you for a piece.
Totally. This is a latest rule of mine. The more that I'm gaining traction with my art, and especially as a kid, I went into robotics. I never thought I can make a living out of this. I was like, no, it's art. What do you mean? Go do robotics. Now, as an adult, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. You've gotten good. People have told you this. Time we start believing that, by the way. We got to get there. But some people do ask. They say, can you make me this? Can you make me that? And I have a rule. I refuse payment.
Oh,
I don't take payment for my art. No, you should not pay
Zander,
for art.
yes.
I know. You should not pay for art because if art has so much healing properties to it, why would I put a dollar sign on it? Why would I do that? To heal someone's soul? For me to heal my soul? I could never put a dollar amount on that.
It is priceless, for sure.
You? Exactly.
It is absolutely priceless. I feel so blessed to have had you come into our lives and for you to be as open as you are with us here. Everyone loves you here. My husband, Angelica, you are part of our family here. And to be able to sit and watch you do this and you share all of this with me and with us,
Mhm.
I feel very privileged. And you're absolutely right. It is very healing, it is
Mhm.
very powerful. I just I feel so privileged that I get to see a little bit of what is in his mind's eye,
Right? A
his
glimpse
heart,
behind it. Yeah.
his soul. He is able to put it on paper. Some of us are good speakers,
Mhm.
poetry. Zander is able to put it on paper and share that experience, who he is visually, and that's so powerful and it's so incredible. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that very much. So, speaking of you and how talented you are, you also do music.
Mhm.
So, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, oh, music. Where do I even begin with my? If ever I had a romantic partner, which I don't, music is her.
Oh, I love it.
Music's that nice husband that I come home.
Mm-hmm.
He's sitting there. He's like, "Hi, I cleaned the kitchen. I made dinner. Hello, music." I love music in a
All kinds.
biblical sense. I love music in a way that is art in such a powerful way because I do perform. With that out of the way, I do perform music.
Mm-hmm.
I play in Fergus Falls Orchestra. I play saxophone. And it's not strictly saxophone. I've been doing alto since sixth grade. Nope, fourth grade. I was wrong. I think it was Miss Lundeen, my first band teacher. Picked up my saxophone. It is my older brother's old hand-me-down saxophone that I try my hardest to crank out some jazz to. Um, and on top of that, in high school, I took music composition, music theory, and a little bit of piano through my choir teacher, where I I think you feel this too with violin. I'm
Mm-hmm.
the same way with piano music. That instrument, piano, I think is the biggest way to express that
Mm-hmm.
musicality through. And so I'd asked him. I heard a song and I felt so inspired. I was like, I have to learn this. Like, Mr. Lamb, please, whatever you can do, teach me piano. He's like, oh boy, here we go. So I sat down, cranked out piano, and to this day, I now know guitar, a little bit of guitar, bass, saxophone, piano, the tiniest minute bit of clarinet, and I can compose almost any instrument.
So here's something super excited, super exciting that we will share finally on this episode, and it seems so appropriate. Xander composed for us music for our intro and our outro. So when this episode goes up, we'll be listening to Xander's composed piece for us. So how privileged are we? How awesome is that
Mm-hmm.
that you were able to do that for us?
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. I've heard it and it's so fun. It's
I'm
so good.
I'm very happy you like it. I
Yes.
here's Can I be truthful with you?
Yes.
I was so nervous
Oh,
to
honey.
show this piece because it's jazz and it's jazz on a synth. Now I've very recently, this is within the recent year, I think I've been doing it for about a year and a half, maybe even just a year, where I've started composing music on the synth level. I like a few dubstep. That's a childhood thing that I was obsessed with.
Mm-hmm.
I like my 8 bits, my little things. And when Miss Patty and Sean came to me with a hey, we like jazz, we like to do that stuff. I'm like, okay, I like jazz too. I know how to do a good drum because I can crank out drums on the synth like nothing. And then I thought, shoot, now I need to do jazz without real instruments. And that's where I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Oh no. Okay. So it was a little out of my comfort zone to do. And I tried it. I made a little jazz melody. I heard it in my head. I was like, what am I even doing? What do I got to do? I started with drums. I'm like, okay.
Oh, yes. There it
Like,
is.
okay, there.
Yes.
That's that bass. It came to me immediately. I'm like, okay, you. How do I go off of you? I was like, do 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 do. I'm like,
Oh, my
okay. We
gosh.
got the little snappies. I'm like, okay, yep. I'm feeling it. And I was like, all right, we're in the groove. Okay, here we are. It's like, okay, it's done. Shoot, now I need to show it to Miss Patty. I'm like, oh,
Oh.
I'm so nervous. What if it's bad? What if she hates it? What if I'm bad? And it's like, hey, actually,
Actually, we
it's
loved it.
listenable.
Yes, we absolutely loved it. And I love that Sean shared with you that he is a big fan of Dave Brubeck,
Yes.
and
Jazz.
yeah, jazz. He loves it, and I think it's wonderful.
Hmm.
So one last thing that I want to touch on before we exit is Xander is also this kid has a long list of accomplishments. He is also an author. Good grief, Xander. Tell us more about that.
Oh, Cortez Lexia. That is the name of my first book that I have ever publicly put out there. See, writing for me was that other form, right? And a lot of this stems back to school for me, where it was, as Mr. Lamb and Mr. Spear, my two wonderful, wonderful band directors. Miss Gilly and that one, oh shoot, what classroom was it? Doesn't matter. Mr. Gamilla, who I was do sketchbook with, right? This teacher, Mr. Evans, 5th grade. I was almost flunking elementary school.
I don't believe it.
I know.
You're
I
such
know.
a little
I have,
brainiac.
I have never touched on this before. When I first started in school, I could not spell. I could not read the word what. I couldn't. My mom and I remember it. We would stay up late trying to learn it. She's like, Xander, you have to learn this. You can do it. Like, I was so confused. I couldn't do it. And that was the first initial signs of growing up with a learning disability young and not knowing how to deal with that. And then we were like, hey, look, headphones, these are cool. And all of a sudden I'm an author. Like, that's what it was. I learned my coping mechanisms. I learned how to get through those trials. And this one teacher, Mr. Evans from elementary school, leading into, he was my special ed instructor. And that's what I hated. In elementary school, I hated the stamp of special ed, sped. I
Yeah.
hated it. To this day, I hate it. How dare you?
And you ended up going to college for
robotics, mechatronics, with an associate's degree in literature. Because, and this is through Mr. Atkinson, who is Mr. Evans, I got handed off to him. Both of them, in their spaces, in their rooms, they would challenge me. They're, okay, well, we have to do this. And I'd be so resistant. I don't want to do this right now. I don't want to read this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to write this. They'd say, okay, if you do it, we'll let you headphones. You can do whatever you want. And I would always ask, like, can I draw? Like, sure. I'm like, can I have my headphones on while I read this? Like, sure. And it would take me nights to read or spell a singular word. The moment I started doing that, it was done. They're like, you're done with the lesson? No, I finished the book. Huh? These teachers had turned full 180. They're like, what do you mean? I struggled to read a sentence on a piece of paper before. And by 6th grade, I had completed reading an entire, I think it was Margaret Peterson Haddock's The Shadow Children's series. I think it was 6 books. It was a sci-fi. And all I would do, the magic of it was, and every teacher got notified. So they're like, we don't know what this kid's on. But when you put him in a corner with headphones, he just speeds through it. He's boom, 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 right there.
Isn't that something?
It's true. I just got to zone in. And as soon as I do, reading became almost a superpower. It became that other way because I had conquered it. I was like, I couldn't do this, and now I'm out here doing this. And 7th grade, Miss Olson, I'm giving you a lot of context here. I will get to the point eventually about my book, but Miss Olson gave us an assignment that was write a short story. And I wrote it, actually, okay. We started with poetry.
Loud truck just went by with big pipes, I guess.
How dare you?
Yeah,
yes.
Right? Interrupt us.
No kidding. Couldn't interrupt me if you tried.
No.
But, we first started poetry. Loved poetry. And actually, here's a little thing. Last time I was in here, last time, when I was down here and the Weiler family was upstairs and that little kind old lady who I talked to, while we were waiting down there, I had written a poem.
Oh my gosh.
I do it all the time. I love writing poems. Poetry is a beautiful, another art form to express stuff through. And so I started off small and simple. We started with poetry, and eventually Miss Atkinson gave me that assignment of you have to write a short story, and I liked it so much I just kept going. I remember it too. It was a chase scene of like a bandit or something. It was called Another Crook.
Oh
I think is
my
what I named
gosh.
it. Another Crook, about just a crook, a dude who stole and went on the run, and that's it. It was very boring. But
So now you wrote this book,
yes, Cortez Lexia.
Cortez Lexia.
Yes, it means freedom writing.
And you put this to print, published.
I did, yes.
Right?
Published, illustrated, all of it.
By you.
Yes.
All of it by you.
Call me, baby.
So the fun thing is you are so sweet. Miss Angelica has a copy.
She was the first ever to receive one.
Oh my gosh.
She got the first copy of my first ever book ever.
That is so exciting for her, I know. And she read it, and she actually Does she not want you on her
I think
podcast?
she does. Yes,
Yeah.
I would love to come on Pages of Ink. By the way, I
Little
need
Miss
everyone to know
Angelica.
this. Yep, yep. That book podcast. That is when people say everyone shut up. My show is on.
Mhm.
That's me for that show. As soon as I see an upload,
There it is.
we have another one.
Yes.
I love everything Angelica does. I love that little show, and I would love to go on and talk about my book because I can and will drone on for hours
Yes.
about my
Yep.
book. Obviously, we don't have the time here, but it is a horror. I'll sum it up. It's a horror, um, psychological horror, existential dread, novel, a short novel. It's a small little 50 pages, very small by novel standards. And it's very unorthodox to the format of a book. It's very changes perspectives, throws you through things, and at the start, it's very unorthodox. You know, every chapter is a single page. You're like, what the heck is going on?
Oh my gosh,
And
yeah.
as soon as you reach a little, I think it's the end of Act One, you realize, oh wow, there's a lot going on with this book, and you cannot in fact get a copy of it because I haven't made any more. I'm the only person giving it. I'm the only person making cover art for it, making additions for it. I do paperback. I hand paint all of them myself. I wood glue bind the spine of it and assemble it. Takes me maybe a week to do even just one. To my knowledge, currently there are one, two, three, I think three copies of Court Dyslexia out there. My roommate has one, a hometown friend of mine has one, and Miss Angelica has one. And so, you know, if you want to read it, I'm so sorry. If this blows up and I get big and famous on billboards one day,
Heck
maybe
yeah.
I'll fully publish it and let someone else. But for the first book ever, I as an artist really wanted the full liberties. I wanted to do everything. I wanted to have it all myself, make it all myself. I love the cover that I gave Angelica. I think it's beautiful. The other one that I have in Long Prairie, it's also very nice. And I like Eric's the most, my roommate Eric. He wanted what he said an invisible cover, which is completely black page, right? And there's a paint called Mod Podge. It's used as a sealant, but it's a different texture when you feel it. And so I go over it with acrylic. It's kind of a gruffier, thing. And over it all, at first I was like, well, I'll just do the letters in this clear sealant. And I had the idea, no, that's too easy. I need everywhere to be Mod Podge except for the textured acrylic. And so I did it in that, wrote out Core Dyslexia, made a little eye design on it because my art speaks for itself. I like eyes. And that's all it was, is an invisible thing. So if you hold in the light, there's literally nothing there. You can only see the cover when you run your fingers through it.
That's insane. I know that Angelica said she enjoyed that so much she read it in one sitting.
That still blows my mind. I can do that for some things. Some forms of media I can just sit down and just crank out because I have to. But the rebuttal that she gave me was so heartwarming. When she's like, it felt like reading a Stephen King. I'm like, the king of horror.
Yeah, right?
You have compared me to. Okay, here we are. So thank you, Angelica, by the way. That was the sweetest thing to ever say about a piece of literature that I've ever gotten or have written.
Yes.
So sorry you had to read a horror, existential horror, in a hospital. That must not have been fun. But we will talk about that, I'm sure, one day on your podcast. And so, yeah. Hey, I loved Core Dyslexia. And fun fact, most of the book I spent writing in this very coffee shop. I would sit there, and that's when I was sitting down in the lounge in the little area there, because the couches are just low enough to where I can have the laptop on my lap, and I'm just typing away. I still remember the day that I wrote that last page, and I stood up, and I just turned to Eric, who was sitting there, because he was waiting on me to go in D&D. And for him, he's like, come on, we're late. And I stand up, he didn't even know. I stood up, and I'm like, that's it.
That's it.
I said, that's
just
all I
like
said.
That.
I was like, just like that, that's it. And I stood up, put the thing in my bag. I'm walking away. He's like, did you do it? I'm like, I finished Core Dyslexia.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. It's a beautiful thing.
Zander, I have enjoyed our conversation thoroughly. I'm excited for you to hop on Angelica's podcast because there's so many questions I have about Core Dyslexia, but I'm not going to ask anymore because I want her to
pull those.
Yes, yep. And have that conversation with you because Pages of Ink, hello, she loves everything and anything books. And I know that she loves you, loves your book, loves your art, admires you, treasures your friendship. So I will speak no more of Core Dyslexia until you hop on
Maybe
Pages of Ink.
Steal her copy. Read it.
You know what? I
If
think
you
I'm
can handle
gonna.
horror.
I can, but Sean needs to be at least home. Yes,
Oh
because
yeah.
I am
Mm-hmm.
truly the world's biggest chicken.
Oh
I
yeah.
really am. I don't know why. I'm afraid of the dark.
Oh, you're gonna hate this book.
Oh no!
There's an entire section that's a weeping angel trope. Whereas when you're looking at it, it can't move. As soon as you look away, it goes away. And they're an entire broken down convenience store.
Okay.
No lights, a room full of mannequins. And they have a single flashlight. I will
That's
speak
awesome.
no more
Speak
on
no
it.
more. I will. I will ask her to let me read it
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mr. Zander, I appreciate you being on the show. Wait, before we go, I do want you to plug your Instagram.
Oh yes. I am on Instagram on Zan_der.t, all lowercase, nothing complicated. I mostly post art. I post my latest sketches from my art book. Just a few photo dumps. I do a little bit of photography, and most of the time, you'll see on my story me doing art days here at Deja Blue House of Coffee.
I love it. Xander, you're the best. We love you so much. Thank you for hopping on and talking about your art. I find it incredibly fascinating.
Thank you.
So, thank you guys for tuning in. Episode 10, here we are. And we will be back next week. But again, I want to thank Xander for joining us on the Grounds for Discussion podcast. We are filmed in Alexandria, Minnesota at Streetside Studio 7, located where, Xander? Inside
Streetside Studio 7.
Deja Blue,
Deja
House
Blue.
of Coffee. So
I
thank
forgot which
you.
one we're plugging.
I know. There's so many. What the heck are we thinking?
Deja Blue, House of Coffee.
Yes.
Here on Broadway.
Thank you guys, and we will catch you next time. And don't forget, the intro and the outro were brought to you by this guy right here, Xander.
C'est moi, c'est moi.
Yes. Thank you all. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you. Bye.